Fee, I'm going to give it right back to you.
Fantastic. I thank you for that. Thank you for your movie section and all your movie news. We're going to get right into the next segment, which I'm going to be passing this over to Harv. It's going to be the pitch, and I'm going to let him talk all about it, and I'm not going to spoil it for you.
So
every time we talk about the pitch, my brain just goes, the pitch. Every time.
We need a
Just
soundbite,
like the
please. Thank you.
jump.
Soundbite here. So the pitch that I have for this week. The pitch that I have for this week is a game called The Witness by Jonathan Blow with his company. I think it's
Never
called
heard of
Thekla.
it.
So this is if you like puzzle games, this is the game for you. This is the game for you. So you are on an island. It is a first-person game, and you go through series of puzzles to unlock what happened on the island and what the history of the island is. And each section of the island has its own kinds of puzzles. So the puzzles are like they're trying to teach you like a language to unlock what happened on the actual island itself. So they get more complicated. So you have one section that starts off pretty easily because they want to teach you like the fundamentals and the basics of it. And then as you progress through that part of the island, they get much harder. And then once you go through about 6 or 7 sections, they start adding the stuff that you learned previous and combining it with another part of the island's puzzles as well. So you're kind of doing 2 or 3 things at the same time. And then while you're doing that, you're just unlocking these little Easter eggs that are happening, little speakers that kind of show you what kind of dialogue, what happened during that time, like that kind of stuff. And people have like went there for archaeological digs and like what happened to them. And it just kind of this history of this island just kind of opens up as you start doing the puzzles. It's a very simple game. Like it looks very simple. Like it's not very graphical intensive, but it feels very isolating, but very thought-provoking at the same time too, because you're the only person there. There's nobody else there. And you try to figure out what happened to the people that are there, why people are like encased in like, it kind of feels like they've been encased from like a volcano kind of type thing, like a Mount Vesuvius, where they're like stuck in a place because of like a volcano kind of like hit it or something like that. So you kind of see like what
Pompeo.
people like that's the place that I was thinking of. So honestly, if you like puzzle games, this is the perfect game, because it is also now 76% off right now. If you're listening to it right now, it's 76. It's like $10.
Wow.
So
Nobody's listening to it right now.
they will be right.
We're live
now.
We've been live this whole time.
Live?
Yeah.
It was free a couple times, wasn't it? It was free.
It was free on PlayStation for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it was free on Epic as well at some point.
Yeah.
But seriously, guys, if you guys like puzzle games, this is one of the perfect games that I think, because I played Maquette last week. I didn't think the puzzles were great, but that game just like reminded me of playing The Witness, because the puzzles in that game were just really fun. Because like I remember playing it with my roommate at the time, and he brought out his notebook and just started drawing all the little puzzles and be like, okay, so it doesn't go this way, but you can go this way. Because like some of them are like optional areas that are really complicated. Like you don't like, there's a main story where you can just kind of go through, but there's these side rooms where they start adding all the mechanics together. Like there's 4 or 5 different mechanics all together for like a room for puzzles. And like if you look at his notepad, it's like a madman was scribbling in there because we were just trying to figure out how to do this. And it's a really cool thing if you have somebody to play with and just kind of figuring this stuff out too. So that I recommend, or I pitch, The Witness by Jonathan Blow, and I will now pour sand on the Midnight Society fire.
I have no idea what that meant, but I like this. I feel like the way of the puzzle games have kind of lost what they were trying to do. I feel like puzzle games have become way too easy. The puzzles become way too predictable. And it sounds cool to have your friend over here have to jot down notes in order to play this game, because that just comes to show that, like, yeah, the puzzles are going to be a little difficult, but a little difficulty never hurt anybody.
No, I love difficult puzzle
Yeah.
games. I love them.
I fucking love difficult puzzle games. The reason why I love horror games because at least the older horror games, the newer ones the puzzles kind of suck. But the games like Silent Hill and the old school Resident Evils, where you actually have to think about like, oh, I actually have to use logic to figure out this puzzle instead of this hole slots into that hole, square hole, triangle hole, circle hole. Oh man, I'm so smart. Like, come on.
That sounds like a PlayStation puzzle.
Exactly.
I have a question for the people that are not has said anything about puzzles. Do y'all fuck with puzzles? Sly and Feet, y'all also have puzzle games?
I like puzzles. I mentioned a couple weeks back I was playing through Baba's You. I didn't get super far, but I was really enjoying that. One of the first games I ever played was a little game on the Game Boy called Piglet's Big Adventure. I don't know if anyone of y'all played it.
Tell me it is a Winnie the Pooh game. Is it a Winnie the Pooh game?
It's a Winnie the Pooh game, and it's kind of like a puzzle game. It's like Puzzle Light. But that was one of the first games I ever played. I like puzzle games. I just have the attention span of a goldfish. And I really enjoy playing puzzle games. I just can't do them alone. I just don't have the willpower for that. So I started The Witness ages ago. And I thought it was pretty. It looked great. And the puzzles were fun. I just couldn't sit through it. And so I'd love to go back to it at some point. Because I barely got into it. Maybe a couple puzzles in. But I enjoy them. I just never have the willpower to finish them.
For sure. The two games that I really want to buy and dedicate time to, and I'm just terrified of them because I'm afraid that I'm gonna not make it through, and I don't want to resort to cheating either. But the two games that are most, and it's not so much like number puzzles or any of those puzzles, it's these sort of like weird object puzzles. So for instance, there's two games that I'm really excited that I want to try. One is called Subliminal, where you're in a hallway and then you grab something in the hallway and you put it forward in your face, and now it's the size of that, sort of abstracty, like.
MacKinnon is the same kind of way.
MacKinnon has a very similar thing where it's like you put the small thing in the small room, but you're in a bigger version, so it's bigger on the outside. Like stuff like size puzzles and stuff like that. The way that the walls will fall in front of you, like those cool mind twisty puzzles. The other one, of course, is I believe it's called Blessing. Was talked about it on the Blessing show, called Manifold Garden. That looked also incredible. That I really wanted to explore and try, but I just get so terrified. that I feel like I'm wasting my own time, and I
honestly might even play with a Witness on stream at some point because this gets me hyped to play that again.
Sure,
because this game isn't anything about looking at something like a MacKinnon style. These are there's a line puzzle where you have to take one part of the line and get it to the other end, but you have to do certain things on the way to do. You have to do certain things. And the funny thing is, I was so close to the platinum trophy in this game.
Oh wow!
And I was at the very end for I finished the story, but this is like a side area. The problem with it was that every time you do it, the puzzles change. Oof. And the puzzles were so hard. They were, and you have a time limit too to do them.
Yeah.
To do the.
So they're procedurally generated.
Yeah, they're procedurally generated.
Jeez.
Oh, I like this game even more.
You have to do 10. This is the final thing to do. This is if you want the 100% trophy list.
Yeah.
And there's 10 puzzles that you have to do, and they're procedurally generated, and you have a time limit to finish all 10 of them.
I love it. I love it.
Anyways, Fee, you were
playing the shit out of this.
How do you like puzzle games?
Guys, this isn't even me joking. As a huge point and click adventure fan, something that goes hand in hand with that is puzzles in the game. One of my favorite games that I actually used to play with my sister all the time, and you guys know my obsessive compulse to buy them when they're on sale, which is the Nancy Drew series, which I have 15 currently out of the 29 of them.
I right when I saw your Steam library, it's why do you have so many Nancy Drew games?
None of them installed either. They're just sitting there grayed out.
I do plan on playing them, and it's honestly like a lot of that is a lot of puzzles, and you have to like figure out clues and go through that way. So something like The Witness is definitely up my alley because I do enjoy the puzzle portion. Am I very good at puzzles? Maybe not, and by maybe I mean, but and for people who are listening, I just shook my head. But I really enjoy them overall because it kind of gets you to think and it gives you progress, obviously, in the story. Even when I play Ace Attorney, the same thing. There's certain puzzles in certain areas where you have to search. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand. And honestly, probably some of my favorite genres include puzzles. So I'm all about this. And honestly, I looked at some of the photos as you were telling us about it. Honestly, was not what I was expecting, and two, I love it. Like, I love the vibrancy of the colors and just the way that I see certain puzzles being played through it. I'm all bored to actually play The Witness, and I'm very excited to try it out later on.
Honestly, I think Fee, you're gonna really enjoy this game because I've had and it's like I said, it's on sale right now. It's $11 Canadian.
Mhm.
So this
Yeah,
is
but-
my weekly thing to
Is he on
sell Fee
Stadia?
something.
Damn it!
I-
Wait.
I-
I
Now
thought I
I'm
heard
angry.
Stadia.
I'm actually angry that I'm now buying another game because Harv told me to buy a game! No! I'm gonna buy it afterwards, guys. It's inevitable.
Don't do that. Let's just
be
play Dead
real.
by Daylight and call it a day.
Oh my goodness. Or Overwatch, because I need to get better at Overwatch. Either way.
If I
love
play
it.
Overwatch with you, it'll make you feel better about how bad you are.
I mean, it's honestly, it's a lot of fun, and we've been playing with some great people, so
Yeah, Fee's
If you
actually
want
really good. Doesn't give herself enough credit. She already does a lot better than most people who have played the game for a long time do.
and I
I
appreciate
just want to
that.
say.
Yep.
Witness is on sale until the 5th of April. So
Oh,
do what you
plenty
want
of
with
time.
that.
Thank you.
Plenty of
Yeah.
time. 3 days.
Awesome. For the people who are listening to this, it's already over.
Yeah,
This was
you
more
cannot
for
buy the
Fee.
Witness.
This was more for Fee.
This was all an elaborate plan for Harv to convince me to buy another game.
Yeah.
Fee asked me, "Do you want to do the pitch?" I was like, "Yes, excellent."
Yes.
Excellent.
Never
rubs hands
again
together.
will I host the podcast and Harv is doing the pitch because that is dangerous for my wallet. Let's just say that.
Every time Harv does the pitch now, I'm renaming it to Harv tries to make Fee buy another game.
Yeah, I gotta do one per week apparently.